Hi Leo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name's Carol and this is a brand new channel. So this is my first reading for you, December 2023. My channel is all about shadow work, and what I try to do in this, in my readings, is to try to show you some of the patterns that are coming up for you, to try to show you some aspects of your shadow that you need to look at that are linked to these patterns, and also ask the tarot for some guidance. And I always have a video above that is on shadow work. So in case you're new to it, in case you want some tips, there's a good video that I've attached, linked up above. And that video comes from my other channel, which is called Carole Cares. And on that channel, I have a lot of videos on dealing with how to deal with your mental health struggles. So anxiety, depression, how to deal with emotions, how to process your emotions, how to journal, how to ground yourself. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, you can click on that. And at the end of this video, so after I asked tarot for some guidance about your shadow aspect, I'm also going to give you some guidance with some videos from Carole Cares. So you'll see how that works when I get to the end. I'll come up with a bit of guidance myself, and then yeah, and then I'll give you some videos for that. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and I'm going to end the video with I'm going to end the reading with a spirit animal. So I have complex trauma myself, and I've been in intensive therapy for a number of years now. And I've also done some significant amount of body work, and in particular craniosacral. And in my sessions of craniosacral, my healer would often find spirit animals in my energy field. He would see them, and so he would we'd look them up and see how it relates to what was going on with me. And that's why I decided to name my channel Yellow Cardinal Tarot, because Yellow Cardinal actually showed up in one of my readings, and I'll always remember that one because we had to look it up because we both didn't think that that it existed, and it actually does exist. I have a beautiful picture of it behind me that was taken by a photographer named Jeremy Black, and it was one of the ones that was spotted in the United States. So it's become my unique spirit animal. I love the red cardinal, and the yellow cardinal is unique for me because it just talks about transformation, it talks about strength, and it talks about uniqueness, you know, our authenticity and who we really are. So I'm going to start off with not a spirit animal, but I'm going to start off with, I'm going to use the Light Seer Tarot, and I'm going to pull 3 cards for you. And I did shuffle these a lot right before I came on camera. And so I'm going to pick 3 cards for you. And the first one I'm going to ask tarot to give me is the pattern that's coming up that we should be aware of, that we need to be aware of. And I just want 1 card. I just want 1 card. If it's any more than that, I will put them in. Not when I clarify, but just now. So let me see if I can come up with 1 card. Is the Knight of Cups in reverse, and I do read reversals. So Knight of Cups in reverse for the pattern that's that you're aware of in your life. And now I want what shadow aspect is linked. And I have 2 cards, so I'm going to have to put them in, and 1 comes out. The King of Cups is the shadow aspect that has come up for the what's linked to this pattern. And now I want some guidance from the tarot. 1 card for guidance, please. 2 here. 1 card for guidance is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so let's talk about these 3 before I get into clarifying it. Let's talk about the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so let's look at this card, the Knight of Cups. He's in reverse, but we're going to talk about knights in particular first of all. So all my court cards in my deck are parts. Everybody has parts. Not everybody knows they have parts, but and I learned that when I was in intensive therapy for my own trauma. So I did parts therapy. I do parts therapy, still do it. And so what I did was applied that to tarot. And all my court cards I found were parts that we have. For instance, my pages are my inner children. So that's a younger part that we have. And I know you've heard about that in mainstream psychology. They talk about, you know, our inner child, but we actually have more than one. We have lots of parts. So, and then we have adolescent parts, which are my knights. And then I have the queen and king, which are the male and the female aspect of us that we all have. Now, knights are my freedom fighters. They're the adolescent energy that we all have in us, the part that we have in us. And I was a teacher all my life, and I taught adolescents to high school. So I taught adolescents. I know about adolescents a little bit. And the one thing that I know about them is that they don't want to be controlled. They want to be authentic. And freedom fighters are no different. So that there's a part of you that does not want to be controlled and wants to be authentic. And wants to also, knights will do anything to run from their pain. They don't want to face their pain. And so your Knight of Cups is in reverse. And cups have to do everything with emotions. And so I'm seeing here that they want resistance from their pain, right? They want freedom from their pain, and you are in reverse. So I'm seeing that you are definitely fighting, feeling your emotions. Okay, so that seems to be a pattern where you have a lot of your emotions are blocked. And in particular, sometimes, you know, the knights, because they're adolescent energy in us, they have some anger, they hold some anger, and you could be blocking some really important emotions like grief and shame with some anger. Because anger is what I call a secondary emotion, and that's the one that comes out all the time, but it's actually a blocker, and there's emotions behind that. So I'm seeing that you're blocking some emotions, whether or not there's anger present. Maybe I'll find that out and clarifying that. And then the King of Cups comes out as the shadow aspect that is linked to this pattern. The King of Cups, so the king is the masculine part of us. And you know, you associate the feminine with, the feminine part of us is usually associated, the one, you know, that's associated with intuition, that's associated with the body, who loves to get into the body to feel all her emotions, where the king would be someone that wouldn't want to. The male part of us is known to, the ungrounded male, I'm going to say, is known to not feel emotions. You're not allowed to feel. That's not what you were taught not to. But this has come upright. And so this tells me that this shadow aspect of you is, you know, there's a part of you that has free-flowing emotions. You know, that they're there. And so we're going to see what emotion, what this shadow aspect is coming up. So it sounds like there are emotions that are coming up for you right now in this shadow aspect. That's what it's saying. So here you are blocking them, doing everything you can to block them, but they're coming up for you in your shadow aspect. And this is where I think you're having, I'm feeling a struggle here. Yeah, having to deal with these emotions that are coming up for you. And the Page of Pentacles is coming in reverse as some guidance. And as I said earlier, the page is the younger part of you in the upright position. So the Pentacles would be, there's two things I know about young kids, very young kids, is that one, they're not afraid to show their emotions. They're not afraid to get into their body and feel at all. And Pentacles is all about feeling. And so, sorry, Pentacles is all about getting into your body and feeling. And this page is upside down. So there is a very younger part of you that does not want to get into their body. So, and I understand that because you're quite blocked here with your emotions, but they're coming up for you to deal with in your shadow aspect, but you're quite blocked. There's a younger part of you whose emotions are quite blocked, and sometimes the anger can block these emotions that are needing to come in, but I think the Pentacles is saying it's time to get into your body, but there's a resistance to doing that, resistance to feeling your emotions. So let's see what the tarot, the Rider-Waite's how they're gonna clarify this. So I usually take 3 cards to clarify each one of these. If, you know, a couple more come out, I'll take them, but other than that, it's I've worked with 5. I don't like working with 5 actually to clarify it, but I think I get enough with 3. So let's find clarification for the Knight of Cups and for the pattern that Leo is facing. The first one is the 6 of Wands in reverse. 2 more for the Knight of Cups. Oh, that one it'll come out if it needs to. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2 right here. I'm not going to take this one, but these 2 need to come out. I have Strength, and I have the 10 of Wands. Both of them in upright position. Those are going to clarify the Knight of Cups in reverse. The King of Cups right now. The King of Cups. I want 3 cards to show us, to clarify the shadow aspect for the King of Cups. And we have the Tower. 2 more cards for the King of Cups. 2 more cards for the King of Cups for Leo. 2 more cards. Oh, and I'll take 3. Yeah, take them in this order. So I have the 6 of Cups and the Page of Swords and the Emperor. Page of Swords is in reverse. Emperor is upright. Okay, and what guidance can you give me for the Page of Pentacles? Not sure if that one's going to come back out. Here we go. Ace of Cups. I love that one. Perfect for what's going on here. Ace of Cups. 2 more. 2 more. 2 more for... Oh, 10 of Cups. Some cups here. Looks like there's some feeling that's going to be coming out here that's needing to come out. Some guidance here for you. 1 more card. 1 more card for this. 1 more card for guidance. Which one will it be? Oh, too many. Not taking that. 1 more card here for Leo. Stubborn. Again, too many. Sometimes these cards don't want to participate. Okay. Okay. Ace of Wands. 2 aces. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I like the Ace of Wands also. It's a good one. Okay. So, awesome. Okay. I'm seeing good guidance here for you in the future. Okay, so I'm going to look at this and then let you know. So a pattern that's coming out for you. So the Knight of Wands is Freedom Fighter in reverse, seeing what's going on. So the 6 of Wands is in reverse here for you. The 6 is for me represent a duality. They have a duality to them. There's always this winning and losing, giving, receiving. So opposites, black and white. And this one is no different. This is called the Victory card, but it's upside down. It's in reverse. And so this is the Victory card. So you have someone that's coming home from battle. Looks like he's won the war. He's got the victory wreath going on, you know, and his followers beside him. And so, you know, people think, oh yeah, you just won a contest or something. But, you know, this is more than, there's what you don't see. Like, this is a victory card. Yes, maybe you've won something. But what you don't see is what's underneath the horse. There's this big blanket, green blanket that's covering the horse, and that's what you've lost. So, and that's in reverse. And I'm going to say there's some resistance to seeing what you've lost. There's a loss here, right? There's a lot of loss here. And since it's you know, and I know it, in the Knight of Cups is in reverse here. So there's some loss here, and so there's some feelings here that need to come up. And sometimes, like I said, that can be, you know, there could be some anger there that's blocking, but you have some emotions that need to come up. And because it's a loss, I'm thinking, you know, maybe there's some grief in there that needs to come up. Well, you know, so the strength card comes out for you because you have strength. You can face this. And emotions are one of the hardest things that people are just so petrified of. And here's the thing to remember. When we were younger, we had to go through these emotions. These are the emotions that are stored inside of us that we need to get out, that we couldn't handle these big emotions when we were younger. So now you're an adult. You're old enough to be able to handle these emotions, and you have the strength here. You have the strength. And the Ten of Wands has come here. And this Ten of Wands has said, you know what? I think you're done with this cycle. I think you're done with, because that's what the 10 is. It's a completion. It's saying, you know what? I'm fed up. I'm kind of done with this pattern of blocking my emotions, of this grief or this loss that needs to come out. And I'm kind of done with it. And so what shadow aspect is coming up for you is asking you to, you know, the King of Cups is saying, we know that there's some emotions coming up that need to be felt. And the Tower is coming up for you. And the Tower comes out when a major change needs to take place. And the shadow is saying, you know what? Like, it's time to start to feel. It's time to start to feel, and the universe will give us this Tower when it's time. And it's like a baseball bat that comes to you and says, boom, if you're not going to start to feel, then, you know, this is what's going to happen. Like, things will happen so that you will start to feel. And this card right here is another 6 for you that's come out, the second 6, but this time it's the 6 of Cups. And this is two children exchanging cups to each other. And this card for me represents this whole idea of exchanging first, of the duality of the number 6 of giving and receiving. But it, you know, there is something that says, there's something about receiving help too. Like, you can give help to people, but you also need to receive it. And this is saying, you know, there's a part of you that needs to communicate with that inner child of yours that's hurting. This is all about communicating to that younger part of you, giving to that younger part of you that's hurting, and communicating and finding out, what does that younger part of me need? What is it that it needs? Because this is a Tower moment now where it's time to go inwards. It's time to figure out what that young part needs. There was a part of my journey where I had to do that, where I had to go inwards. It was at the beginning of my journey where I had to go inwards and start to do some journaling and actually write to my inner child and ask them literally, what do you need? What do you need from me? Because I feel like it's a similar situation here where you're needing to grieve, and that would be a very young part of you, because, you know, in this journey, especially, you know, if you have a lot of trauma, there's a lot of grieving that needs to be done, because there's a lot of loss, and we already established that there is loss here with our 6 of Wands in reverse. And so there's a loss there, and so your inner child wants to speak to you and wants to tell you. And this is about, like I said, giving and receiving, because you need you can't give to somebody if you're not willing to receive. And you have to be able to listen. You have to be able to listen to that inner child and take the time and become still enough and ground yourself and go inwards to find out what it is that inner child needs. And you do that through journaling and grounding. And like I said, I went through this where I had to ask my inner child. I knew that they needed to grieve, and they couldn't get the grief. I couldn't get to the grief. And so I wrote my inner child and I said, what do you need? And I came back and they said they needed a doll. She wanted a dolly, and I'm like, a doll? I didn't have a doll. I didn't have a doll lying around, and and so I actually, literally, I went to Walmart and shopped for a doll. And I there wasn't a lot of selection, but I picked the one off the shelf that I thought, looked like a baby doll that maybe, I would have liked. And so when I got to, it was a few years where I used the doll when I started to really grieve. And I took the doll with me sometimes to bed and just hugged the doll, because that's what my inner child needed, was a doll to get to my grief. And your next one is the Page of Swords. And the page again is another inner child, is your inner child. We have a few inner children. This time it's the Page of Swords in reverse. This is the Page of Swords that is... Swords is all about getting to the truth, finding your authenticity, finding out who you really are, and you do that by feeling your emotions. There is only one way to get to that, and that is through your emotions. You can't bypass them. You can't shove them down. You can't continue to shove them down, because if you continue to shove them down, then this is where the Tower moment comes in, right? And so the Page of Swords is another inner part, and it's in reverse. So it's blocked. You have this inner child in you that's blocked and wants nothing more to be authentic. If you know any children, two things about children I know. Number one, they're authentic. They're themselves. And number two, they have intuition. And they know, they follow their gut. They just know. They just know, because I know. How do you know that? Because I know. And then it gets blocked, right? Because, they have adults that tell them that there's no such thing as that. You don't follow your gut. And they shut down all their emotions. And so I see that you have two pages here. Or did you have a Page of Cups? Why did I say another? Oh, what did I say had two pages? Anyway, maybe I'm mixing it up with another. Okay, I've been doing a few readings. I forget why. I'm losing myself here. That's okay. So yeah, we do get to establish that you are blocked with your page. The Emperor is the last one for your shadow. And your Emperor is the masculine part, masculine energy in the world, the masculine in all of us. And this is the part that is very rigid. No emotions here. Won't show emotions. There's no such thing as, getting to your emotions to get to your creativity or your authenticity. Very rigid, almost like he's become his chair, which is cement, and very, very afraid, full of fear. I'm going to say full of fear, to step out of this position, this role that he's sitting in, and take a risk to try something creative, to try something new, because, there is a real, almost feeling of safety in not rocking the boat. So you can see that he's very rigid. Number 4 is a very rigid square number, and this is what the Emperor represents. He is the doer. He's the one that's going to go out and get things done, but he's very, very rule-oriented, kind of person. And that's what we become when we don't feel. We become the emperor, is what we become, really. And so the guidance from the tarot, oh, here's the other page. The guidance from the tarot is, so your Page of Pentacles is upside down pages, and I said to you there's two things about children. One is they're very authentic, and secondly because they have intuition because they're in their body. Children are very grounded naturally. They're just very grounded in their body, and that's why they can access their intuition, and that's why they are so authentic. But here it's your inner child is blocked, and it's a Page of Pentacles, so that tells me that you need to get into your body, because what's going on here is the guidance that is coming in here is a new offer for you. And when I get an Ace of Cups, because it's about emotions, it's telling me here's an offer to go deeper. Here's a new offer. Here's a new way of looking at life. You know, it doesn't have to be from this upside down perspective where you're not in your body and you're not feeling and you're, you know, stone like this emperor. This is a new way. There's a new way for you to look at life, and that is to get back in your body, to find out, you know, find out what that inner child of yours wants. Ask this inner child. They know. They know. Get in touch with your inner child. This Two of Cups right here. I want you to get in touch, communicate with your inner child. Ask them what they want, because they have so much to tell you. They have so many emotions that they need to share with you that they've had to block. And they're blocked from other emotions like anger and other parts of you, like the Emperor, who says, fuck emotions. They're not going to get you anywhere. And so the guidance from the tarot says, here's another offer for you to go deeper and to have a full range of emotions. That's what the Ten of Cups is, a full range of emotions where you can feel all of them, where there's no more blocking. You get back into your body and you start to feel. And that's shadow work's all about, feeling your emotions. And this is what this reading is telling you, is to get back into your body. So you can experience that Ten of Cups, experience all those emotions, not just the anger or whatever it is that's blocking all of this other stuff, but all the grief and the shame that you've had to block as a child. Because you have two aces for the guidance here. Because once you do that, once you get in there, not only are you opening up, you know, your world of feeling and emotions, but you're also opening up your true purpose, your authenticity, your creativity, and what it is you've come here to do. And that's what's buried in your shadow. Beautiful gifts that are buried in our shadow that people don't realize. People think that the shadow is like all this emotions, this trauma, this shitty stuff. Yeah, you got to get through that stuff. You got to get through that stuff. But underneath all that, once you start peeling away all these layers, once you start going deeper, peeling away at all these layers, there's some beautiful stuff that comes out of that. And this is what these two aces, you have two aces here, which is amazing stuff. So before I draw this, pull this card, I really feel like the main message of this is two things. I want you, emotions is coming up for me big here. So in what your inner child wants, I want you to learn how to ground. I'm going to include a little playlist of grounding. I want you to learn how to ground. And I want you to learn how to process your emotions. But, yeah. And that might include journaling from your emotions too. There's a couple of things. So I'm just going to write that down. So I want you to learn how to ground and how to process emotions. And maybe some journaling, but the processing emotions, we'll talk about journaling. So I'm going to leave that at grounding and processing emotions. I think is what you need, and I'm going to leave you with a shadow card, spirit animal card, and let me know. I mean, this is my first reading for you. Let me know if it resonates for you. If this is, maybe what's blocking these emotions. Let me know below what's going on with you. And let's see what spirit animal is here for you. See what spirit animal is here for Leo to finish this off for us today. One more here. Electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. Wow. Your ideas to life, bring your ideas to life, is right here in this Ace of Wands. And I know you have something there that's brewing, but it's so buried underneath all these emotions that have to be cleared out first before you can bring these ideas, these creative ideas. This is the creative ideas that you're being asked to bring here to life, right? Because you can have full range of emotions. You work through them. All right, let me know. Talk to you later.